Welcome, Aquarius, to your Mercury Retrograde Deep Dive Forecast on February the 26th through to March the 20th for 22 days. Mercury, the communicator, but also the planet of precision, retrogrades through the water sign of Pisces by 14 degrees. Mercury is naturally detrimented in Pisces. Will this retrograde amplify the difficulties? I'm going to share you your event chart, the exact moment Mercury retrogrades, and how the other planetary players feed in and influence things from your unique perspective. I'm also going to share with you the upcoming influences. There are some really promising ones. I'm then going to unpack everything for you and give you an overview of your relationship, financial, energetic, and professional prospects for the next 3 weeks. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now and help it to continue to thrive. Also, please stay with me and you'll have the opportunity to get your Survive and Thrive Mercury Retrograde Guide. On the screen is your event chart, and there is Mercury for you in the second house. The first house is your zodiac sign, and you can see the 0 degree cusp there, and Pluto pretty close to it too. Now, recently, Aquarius, over the last 5.5 weeks, Mars, the planet of passion, drive, and assertion, has been in your zodiac sign. And if you think about the story of the year so far, cluster of energy in Capricorn at the start of the year, rather psychological and to do with planning. Then a cluster of energy in your sign, very much to do with enthusing things that you're excited about, with extra passion and drive. And then the cluster of energy has moved into Pisces, where Mars will join up on the 2nd of March. And you do have an opportunity from all that hard work you've been putting in earlier this year and beyond then to reap a reward over the next few weeks. We're also going to see a sparkling new moon in Pisces on the 19th of February. But we all know that Mercury retrogrades can cause snags, misunderstandings, and delays. And for sure, if you are owed some money, second house, very much to do with everyday finance, it may be that you're going to have to be persistent in order to get that in. But it's also worth seeing that Venus, unlike Mercury, shines in the sign of Pisces, is exalted, and in the second house, that's a flavour of its rulership of Taurus and can be good for money. And that's forging at the start of this retrograde, still a very constructive link to Jupiter, the planet of fortune, opportunity, and expansion in the sixth house of jobs. That's encouraging. Also, Venus and Mercury are going to be merging on Friday the 28th. There could be a slice of good news then, to be honest. But the second house isn't just about money, it's also about our values. It can be about our life foundations, our need for security, but also our sense of self worth. And Mercury's retrograde could see us working on all those themes over this next 3 weeks. But the other thing to tell you is that Mars, which has been with you for those last 5.5 weeks, is in a tense right angle with Uranus, the modern higher octave ruler of the sign of Aquarius. And that suggests if you do encounter anyone who isn't straightforward, isn't honest or truthful about money or finance or possessions, it could really ignite a sense of frustration but injustice within you, because Uranus is about higher truths, it's in your sector of emotion, and Mars in the first house has a bit of a flavour of Mars in Aries. It can be quite feisty if it does meet an obstacle. The second thing to tell you is that Saturn, your traditional ruler, now in the third house of everyday thinking again, as it was for 3 months and a week last year, is in a very tense right angle with the moon. The moon's in the very precise and practical sixth house. So I think Mercury's appreciation of detail, which comes from its rulership of Virgo, is really reflected by the moon being in that location. But in that square with Saturn, again, if you encounter someone whose tactics, whose way of expressing themselves, or if you meet someone who has a very cool way of responding to you, or is not very appreciative of what you've done for them, that also can have an impact on you. But in terms of the opportunities, Aquarius, on the 2nd of March, as I mentioned, Mars is going to be moving into Pisces. And in the following 6 weeks, that will redouble your determination to convert effort and flair and imagination into something more tangible and valuable. We're also going to have a Mercury cazimi on the 7th. That's where the Sun applies to the retreating Mercury. It's called an inferior conjunction, but Mercury will still glow from that wonderful luster of the Sun, magnifying its brilliance. So again, you could be very agile and inspired in terms of your ideas to improve your lot. Now, I should just say on the 3rd of March, there is a total lunar eclipse. In the part of your situation to do with shared finances and long-term financial planning, but also where you're most invested emotionally, psychologically, and even in a romantic context. And the 2nd and 8th house energies can be where we're a bit too attached. Now, the attachment with Venus in the mix could be calorific goodies, or it could be someone we find rather irresistible. But if we stay with something simply because it makes us feel secure, it could actually take away our passion and really steal some energy from us in another kind of way. So that's the challenge of that particular lunation. But on the 9th, Jupiter again, in that 6th house of work, forges a delicious link with Mercury. And once more, if you have rethought something, or you have met some kind of roadblock, but you found a dexterous way to get round it, and you are capable of doing that, you can still get the reward. In fact, by the 19th of March, there's going to be a lovely link between Mercury and the retreating North Node. And some kind of karmic outcome can fall for you around your value, your worth, but also around your finances. In fact, by the end of March, we are going to see a cluster of energy developing in Aries, which is all about quick communications, which of course Mercury governs, but also Pluto in your sign will link to Saturn in an exact sextile, which really can see something shifting. So if you do encounter some roadblocks over the next couple of weeks, I think you could get frustrated quite quickly. And I think mainly if people's values don't align with yours. So that's that. So, in terms of understanding what the rest of March holds for you, Aquarius, please click on the screen for your in-depth March video if you're yet to watch it. And the right-hand screen, you can download your free, and it's absolutely brilliant, if I say so myself, Survive and Thrive Mercury Retrograde Guide. Please take advantage of my unique horoscope reports offer. You can order your 12-month forecast, but also your life roadmap report, totally unique to you. If you apply Astro 26 at the checkout, you'll get 50% off. If you'd like to know more about your karmic soul journey through draconic astrology, you can order the same package, but apply at the checkout Draco 26. Thank you.